afraid. And you know how much torment that put him through? When he telling his father, like, I gotta respect her because I live here. I gotta deal with this every day. You know what that's doing to him? Even if you do get your way with him, in the back of his mind, he always gonna want his relationship with me. Kaiden young enough to where as though you might have did the damage because he don't even remember me. But Tristan will always remember me. He will always remember all the good I did for him, everything. And you're taking that away from him. I used to question if I was a bad father till I talked to Tristan, and he told me that he's glad that I was hard on him. You know how weird that was? But it's like you want to take every worst instinct I ever had, which probably was one or twice a year, and paint that as it was me the entire time. You say I abuse you, right? The only time I can think about when I mentally abuse you is when you would ask me questions. I could have answered the questions better, but I didn't know how to at the time. So I would just give you the straight, honest truth of why I was doing what I was doing, what did I think of you, and how I felt about you at the time. Outside of that, the cheating, I apologize for. The one time I put my hands on you, I apologize for it. You forgave me for that. Only to later turn around and use it on me like I did it recently. You forget all the times you threw things at me, you chased me. You forget all that. When I tried to let you go years before we got separated, you forget about that. We gotta get over that shit. I don't dwell on you, Bray. I don't think negatively about you, except when I think about what you done. What is wrong? What is wrong that you think you giving me hell is gonna fix in your life? What is wrong? You wanted everything that you have right now, and I gave it to you without a fight. When I had the money, I could afford it, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? She want to be free. I'm gonna let her be free. She want to use this PFA to create space. Cool. Use the PFA to create space because she obviously needs it. I never thought in a million years you would use shit like this to keep me away from my kids. But then again, when I think back to it, it's like you did, you did keep my kids away from me. Whenever shit ain't go your way with Tristan, you would keep them away from me. The only reason why you couldn't do that because we was married and we lived together for a long time, and it was hard. But why is that your go-to? You a life coach, right? And it's not me being petty. This is me being real. What it is about that you're doing validates your career. Cause you can make up all that shit up in your head like I'm this, I'm that, but I'm not. I'm not nothing negative. Not even a person that hates you. Even though you filed a PFA against me, had me arrested, and then lied about years of abuse. For what? I ain't never make up not one thing about you. You're upset about how people respond to the way you act. You take a person kids away from, watch what the fuck they do. They gonna pop up at your dad's house, ask them where the fuck their kids at. The same way you popped up at my mom's house. You ain't know where I was at. The same way you would sit outside my mom's house waiting for me to come home when I didn't want to be with you. Now, if I did that, that's stalking and I can get arrested. But I would never do that. Only reason why I would drive by your house and look at them fucking windows is because I miss my kids. Not because I miss being there, not because I miss none of that shit. Because I miss my kids. Even when we ain't doing shit, I miss just not doing nothing with them. But like, what do you do? What do you do when a black woman hates you? I don't know no more. Cause they'll lie. They'll have you arrested. They'll do things to purposely ruin your life. For what? Because they're upset. I've been in households where moms make you hate your dad because you don't understand why the fuck he not around, and you find out why the fuck he wasn't around, and you end up upset. You grow up a certain way because you protecting yourself from certain shit. Where you could have grew up with a freer spirit. That's what I had to go through. And that's what I didn't want Tristan to go through. But it looked like that's what you want. You want an unhealthy, mentally grown kid. I don't want that. People talk about how easy it is to get along, but then when it's time to get along, they don't want to get along. It's hard being a bigger person, y'all. But like, what do? You don't want your kids looking at you weird. You don't want them looking at you crazy because you're mad and you overreacting on stuff, so you can't just show up. What do? When moms, they could do whatever the fuck they want. I could have got shot in my head for keeping my kids away from her. And nobody would have blinked their eye. They would have been like, well, you should have been keeping his kids away from me. Meanwhile, she keeping my kids away from me and lying about my kids being on the PFA, and nobody does nothing. No judges do nothing about her lying. They don't care. Meanwhile, I get jail time if I try to see my kids because she's lying about my kids being involved in the PFA. You go to court, they don't care. You tell them that she lying, they like, prove it, and then you prove it, and they like, well, we gonna set another court date. Son can testify to clear up everything. They don't let him testify. And at first, I used to think that, hey, maybe I'm the only black guy who going through this. But then you find out millions of us going through this shit. A lot of them in jail. When she had me arrested, I saw a lot of black men in jail for women who were upset with them. And that's just on God. I saw a black man stabbed the fuck up And once she